So why is this conference important for UNDP?
This conference provides us a platform to talk to the target audience that we are targeting in our data for policy making. And we at UNDP, one of the pathways of our digital strategy is building inclusive digital ecosystems, meaning helping member states in their digital transformation journey at a societal level. Building digital public infrastructure with human rights and inclusion at the core. And data plays a key part of this. In the past year, we've been working with, in collaboration with GIZ to develop this data to policy navigator. It is a unique tool targeted towards mid to senior level policymakers in using data in their policymaking process. And it's unique in a way because most of the resources available out there are targeted towards data scientists in their capacity building in building capacity of National Bureaus of Statistics. But this tool specifically is helping the policymakers. Depending on their expertise on data, there are different entry points to this data to policy navigator. And they can use the navigator to look at the use cases in other countries, learn from it, exchange knowledge from it, and a very structured process in making policies and also monitoring and evaluating those policies.
So can you give us an example? Like what kind of policy can you magically create with this navigator and based on the data there?
So for example, let's say for example a social protection system. In order to build an inclusive social protection system, you need to make sure the data available to you is not only the digitized data, for example, because as we know in many countries, certain percentage of people are still not connected as well. So you need to ensure that those people are, the data about those people are collected as well. And there are methods, non-digitized methods to collect those data as well. So for example, this tool, this data to policy navigator has certain examples from countries who have done this, so they can have more targeted interventions for a social protection system.
So how many countries use this navigator?
So we use this UN World Data Forum as a platform to launch the beta version of the Data to Policy Navigator. And in the Navigator, we are featuring about 10 examples from about 10 countries now. And we've been interviewing about 19 to 20 national statistics officers to understand what are some of the issues they are facing, what are some of the opportunities they have to use use data in the policy making process. And the beta version was just launched at this conference, and the final version will be available in the summer in New York with learning from the feedback that we received from this beta version. We will launch the full version.
Congratulations. Is there really a gap between statistics and policy people in many countries? Is that really an issue?
It is to a certain extent, and especially when we say data, in many countries, when in the interviews we did, they understand data as a technical thing. So in many cases, they ask us to go and talk to the IT department to get data instead. So, and also it is about culture change as well. In many countries, the hard data or the statistical data is not available. Nowadays, there are non-conventional data, as we call it, that you can use as well. So it is a culture change for them to convince national statistical bureaus there's other non-conventional data available to use them, and also you can do all sorts of cutting-edge analysis, but then again there needs to be political will to change as well, to take action. So this Data to Policy Navigator talks about how to build that political will and provide the right information, right analysis to policymakers to make those decisions.